Hi, I'm Mick McQuaid, and this is Archit Jha, and we're going to talk a little bit about the CHI Student Design Competition. But first, I'd like to ask Archit to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself.
Hello everyone. I'm Archit. I'm pursuing my master's in human-computer interaction, and this is going to be my second year, so I've got 2 more semesters to go. I have a bachelor's in computer science, but I like everything creative, which is why I came into HCI. And I like to tinker with technology and future stuff, and at the same time I like to explore my creative side, so I work a lot with UI, UX, information, visual design, and try to mix and match that with technology coding to solve design challenges. That is what I like. Recently I completed an internship at Motorola Solutions, and now I'm back here to resume my graduate program, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for the introduction. So the main reason that we're talking like this is because Archit is interested in entering the CHI Student Design Competition, and he would love to have some teammates. RIT hasn't been represented in the competition, I don't think, very much, if at all, in the last few years. And Archit is knowledgeable about the competition, so let me ask you a few questions about it.
Sure.
So what exactly is the competition? Can you just provide a brief overview?
Yeah, sure. So ACM, or the Association of Computing Machinery, is like an organization where people publish their research work, so it's like a community of people. It's not just an organization, and they have several categories for research, or I should say they have several research bodies which take up research under different fields of concentration. So although most of the computing research is under ACM, and it could be thought of as a counterpart of IEEE, for us at CI students, like, it is the biggest organization because it conducts something called CHI conference, or Computer Human Interaction Conference, which is probably the biggest conference in the world for HCI researchers and practitioners alike. So within the CHI conference is a segment for student design, and the student design segment is essentially student design competition, where not just HCI students but industrial designers, visual designers, and other sorts of designers come up with solutions to, they first of all identify a problem and come up with a solution to their problem and describe their process. So this is like a very prestigious competition which is conducted annually, and if you get to make the cut in the competition, it's like a pretty good experience because you not only get to know and meet the community of HCI researchers, but you get to put your work there on the platform for the world to see. So it's like a great opportunity.
Great. So now what about the theme? So every year there's a theme for the competition, and the theme for this year is very general, I think, right?
Yeah. So I guess it's a pretty general and broad theme because the theme just says engage communities. So although there's a huge description available on the site, but by engaging communities, I guess the people at CHI want us to identify a community which has a particular set of needs. Once we are through that, once we identify a community that we want to focus on, we want to see what are some problems they face, and then choose one of the many problems they have and provide a design solution. So that is essentially what the competition wants you to do. I mean, in process there are a lot of steps because you'd be starting with an idea, you'd be doing research, and then you'd apply different design principles and different theories that you learn in HCI or other programs, and then approach the solution. So I guess the idea here is how you approach the solution and how well you identify the problem. Do you extend beyond the presence of the stakeholders, like how many subpopulations are you covering, what's like the representation? So you got to keep all these things in mind while going ahead with it.
Excellent. So now Archit mentioned that they have a website. So the site you can find by Googling CHI Student Design Competition. By the way, CHI is like the Greek letter Chi, C-H-I, is the pronunciation of it. CHI Student Design Competition 2017, or is it 2018 now?
It's 2018
2018.
now. So although you'd be working in 2017, but you'd actually be submitting your final deliverable on, I guess, the 2nd of January 2018, and this conference would take place in 2018, I guess, in Montreal,
May.
Canada. Yeah, sometime in May.
In May, yeah.
Yeah, so that's so you're preparing for Kai Student Design Challenge 2018 and not 2017. And just to be clear, like the 2017 competition was held in Denver, I guess Boulder in Denver. So if you happen to visit that site by default, like that competition is already over, so don't go to that team.
All right. So now I have actually helped several teams. A couple of teams that have won the competition in a previous job when I was at a previous school. So I have a few things to suggest that are that have I think made a big difference to students who have won the competition. So one is it's very typical to do a contextual inquiry in the competition at some point. So at some point you define an audience and do a contextual inquiry of them. You develop an affinity diagram and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. Another key thing that I've found is that the successful teams usually identify a couple of subpopulations who can actually meet each other's needs but don't normally. And in some way the applications that students have designed could conceivably have help to create a symbiosis between these two subpopulations and help them to fulfill each other's needs. So even as you're looking for a community to serve, my suggestion is that you be looking for two subpopulations within that community to serve. Kai loves an international group,
Yeah.
so I suggest that you try to have as diverse a team as you possibly can, and you should certainly have 4 people on your team. The successful teams that I've assisted have had either 4 or 5 members on the team, and they've worked during the semester and actually used my class a lot of times to do some of the work. Because there's no way that you can do it. So some groups try to do it over Christmas break, and you can write the paper over Christmas break. And if you're committed, a team can do the sort of run the last lap during Christmas break and submit, as you said, by January 2nd or whatever the submission date is. But you'll have had to have done a substantial amount of the work, and by substantial I mean 4/5 of it at least, before the end of the semester. And so coupling it with a class is good. So that's why I wanted to show this video to the 620 class, because Archit is looking for teammates. Some of you may be still looking for teammates and for a semester project to do, and you may be able to get together and form a semester project. So any parting thoughts, anything else that you want to?
Yeah, I would just add a couple more points. So because by submitting an entry in this competition, you make your work public and you're taking it out of the institution. So the research paper that you'd be working on as a team has to be passed through IRB, or Institutional Review Board. So those who do not know about IRB would get to know about it in the research methods class. And in case you're not taking that class, I guess Professor would be happy to help you out with IRB. And the thing is, you need to take a course and get your IRB certification before you can work on human research. And like human research is like a broad term, and I don't want to take the time to define it here, but human subjects research is something that needs approval from a body that monitors it, and in our institution at RIT there is an IRB that monitors it. So you need to take a course, you need to get your certificate, and once you have that certificate you can conduct human subjects research, which would be like a prerequisite if you want to work on this project. Obviously you could do that while working on the project and it is acceptable, but this is one thing to keep in mind, because that course would actually take I guess 2 or 3 days of your time.
Okay, yeah, it is a significant commitment, so I'm glad that you brought that up. Mm-hmm. And I think in general this is a significant commitment, but it has been a very valuable one for some students that I've known in the past, in terms of visibility and getting jobs, making connections and so on. People who are successful in this competition have a lot of doors opened for them. So I think that it's worth thinking about, but don't undertake it lightly. It's not something to be undertaken lightly. You won't get anything out of it if you think of it as just another group project. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, if you have any additional questions, you can ask me, because I have the certification myself. I mean, I did it last semester, I guess, for one of my other projects in, I guess, a prototyping course that I took with Dr. Ashbrook. So if you have any questions, you can ask me about the IRB certification, or it's a student design challenge, or even HCI in general, because I love to talk to people, and I would just be happy to help you out in any possible way that I can.
Sensational, and thank you very much for
no
coming
problem.
and doing this short video. I'll put Archit's contact info on the My Courses site beneath this video, so it should be easy to get in touch with him. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, great.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
You have a great semester ahead.
Okay, great.